claim it because I know it's true. How's everyone doing today? We have to let YouTube do what it does. So while we wait, for those of you who may be brand new to the channel, I'm Kimmy. Again, I teach notaries nationwide how to maximize their stamp, right? They have the commission, but they don't know what to do with it. I teach notaries to take that stamp and turn it into cash. It could be full time, part time, whatever you want, but we're going to make some money with it and not let it just sit there looking pretty, right? You may already have your printer, your toner, your paper, and you're still like, I don't know what to do with all this stuff. What's my next steps? What do I do? Well, that's where notary educators come in. So, welcome, welcome. Welcome. I see a few people joining us now. So I'm just here for a little story time today, answer a few questions. Yesterday's session was amazing. Hey, Jerome, how are you? My dad's middle name was Jerome. Hey, everybody, welcome. Yes. Last night's session about customer service was amazing. If you missed it and you want to join now, you can go back and watch the replay. We had a special speaker, one of our own members, our own family members of the Notary Educators Business Success Program, Ms. Lori, and she knocked it out the ballpark. Again, customer service, guys, you got to learn it. You got to learn it. We watch a lot of reality TV nowadays, and what we see on TV and what happens in real life with people, it's still pretty much old-fashioned if you want to have a successful business. Yep, got to know how to say hello, what to do, end of life matters. Customer service is still, yes, Jerome, it's very important. Very important. So we had a very nice discussion about that. We talked about some safety last night. So our discussions are just always great. They're just always great. People are winning. We didn't do a lot of successes last night because it was just so many topics. We talked about LLCs. We talked about whatever the people want to talk about. That's what we talk about. But I'm here to share a couple stories with you today. And I'm out here in these streets, so I always got a story. So my first story is, I always say I do not leave my house under $50, right? I do not leave my house under 50. I left my house yesterday under $50. I'm gonna tell y'all the story. You tell me what you think. Yes or no? Should I or should I not have? Okay. And we've been talking about pricing a little bit this week, right? This is kind of like day 3. We've been piggybacking off of pricing. If you did not know, I actually have a whole book on pricing, how to price your services, because it's just that important. You need to know how to price. Okay. If you don't know how to price your services, you won't have a business. If you don't know how to price, you have no business doing business. So this book is called Pricing Your Notary Services. Let's talk about the money. So we cover all the different avenues that you can make money and how to price your services, okay? Tips on how to price. Because people love the book, but one little thing people have said is, well, I want you to kind of tell me exactly what to charge. What I charge in my area is going to be different than what you charge in your area. But the book, everybody loves it because it does tell them what to think about when you're pricing your services, okay? So anyway, I typically do not leave my home under $50. Okay. Don't pull out the Honda till $50. Okay. So I had a client yesterday though. She called and she was getting ready to Uber to me. So I do allow people to come to my home by appointment only because I'm traveling. So I might be here, I may not be here. I'm a mobile notary. That's my main business. I'm mobile. So if they want to save some money, I don't feel like going out, I'll say, hey, you can come to me. So anyway, she was like, well, I'm going to come. And I priced it out for her, whatever. And she was like, well, I got to get an Uber. And I was like, well, I had already screened her, right? I asked her what type of documents she had. It was regarding a car loss. They were in a car accident or whatever. So she said, I'm going to get an Uber. And I was like, oh, man, I hate for her to have to get an Uber. She said, I'm like 2 miles away from you. So I said, okay. Kimmy, do you want to put your nice business boss hat on and drive to her? So she don't have to get in an Uber, pay to come here, pay to go there. And I told her, I said, well, since you got to get in an Uber, I'll give you a discount. Because they had 2 documents. It was her and her daughter. So they had 2 documents. So I gave her a discount. And then when I hung up the phone, I was going to let her take the Uber, y'all. Because I gave her a discount. But when I hung up the phone, see how and I'm going to tell y'all, one thing always turns into another. That's why sometimes, when it comes to pricing, it can really tick you off, okay? So, hey, everybody, welcome. Where y'all jumping in from? Where y'all at? What city? What state? Where you at? Where you at? Are you already a notary? Thinking about becoming a notary? Have your stuff and don't know what to do? What's up? Where are you in your journey? So anyway, I priced it lower because she was going to come to me in the Uber. So as soon as I hung up the phone, I told Jeffrey, I said, you know what? Let's go to her. She's only around the block. I got a couple of minutes. Let's just go to her. I'll charge her the same thing. Boom. So I'm gonna go to her now for 40. Remember, I told her I was gonna she can come here for 40. And what made me not upset, but made me like, I should have went ahead and charged her the whole 50, right? Because now she needs the documents printed. It's always something else, guys. It's always something else. Detroit, what's up, Jerome? I'm in Detroit too. Well, I'm not in Detroit. Let me take that back. I'm from Detroit. West Side. I'm from Detroit. Oh my God, I'm in Detroit. You got me want to be there, right? And the lady I was talking about, I ain't gonna tell you where she was from because just in case she's watching. I doubt it, but just in case. So anyway, what up though? Right. So you're waiting on your equipment. Okay. What do you want to do with your business? General notary, loan signing agent. What's going to be your focus? And I love to have the fact that you're a guy. We got more guys in the house. We need more men notaries. Everybody's mostly women, and it doesn't have to be like that. It's very few men, very few. You want to do remote loan signing? Okay, cool. Very good. And you can make a lot of money doing remote. I don't do remote because it's not legal in my state. But the moment it is, if it ever happens, I will be the first one to sign up. Okay, but we do have Michigan notaries in our mentorship program. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in a little bit, okay? So let's get back to the story. So anyway, that's why I said, guys, when it comes to pricing, it will never be an exact science. So I tell her one price, $40, because she's going to come to me. I'm being nice. Then I said, well, you know what? I'll take the same 40. I'll drive around the block to her, but it was like 5 minutes. And then she calls and says, hey, can you print the documents? Okay. Yeah, I can print them because y'all know I got a printer, right? Yeah, I can print them. And I typically charge a print fee. But because it just sounded like she was going through so much, I didn't even charge her a print fee. So now I'm printing, each document was 3 pages. She had 3 for her, 3 for her daughter. That's 6. Okay, 6 pages now. And I'm driving to you for $40. That goes in my nice charity gift giving for the week, okay? That's what category we're gonna put that in. That was my generosity, okay? Because your girl do most stuff, we gonna make a profit, okay? But all that being said, I didn't mind. When I got there, her daughter was super sweet, in her 20s. They just look like they have had a rough way to go. I mean, hey Ingrid, what's up, girl? Yeah, so they just look like they had a rough way to go. So in that case, so, and I can always hear Jeffrey, he'll joke and say, oh, you doing charity work today, huh? If I end up having a heart about something. And I got a big heart, y'all know that. But anyway, that job was really worth 50. It really was worth 50. Let me tell you about the basic mentorship plan. I'm gonna tell you my second story. So what do you guys think about that first story? It was okay, right? Hey, Miss Alethea, it was okay, right? What's up? How are you? It was okay to give her a little discount, right? Because, I mean, people have situations. I've been in situations. And, sometimes people just need to know somebody cares. She was so appreciative that she did not have to take the Uber, y'all. And y'all know it ain't easy getting an Uber. I mean, it is, but it's not. You got to pay. You got to wait. And she would have Ubered over here. The Uber would have had to wait. And she got to Uber back. I was tired thinking about what she had to go through, right? And it wasn't even me. But all that being said, your girl had a heart. And I left my house yesterday. Not only did I leave for $40, but I also printed 6 pages. Okay. Next thing, shout out to Shanika. Shanika's in my mentorship program. She is a notary. She helped me with the this is why you need a network of notaries. I said I was gonna tell you about the mentorship. Let me tell you about the mentorship, the $27 plan. Then I'm gonna come back and tell you about the what Shanika did for me. And I still got one more story. So short version, the mentorship plan is $27 for the entry point, and you have access to your 5 core courses to teach you how to properly notarize documents. So if you are that notary, are you still wondering, what is an acknowledgement? Oh, are you still wondering, what's a jurat? How do I administer an oath? What are my basic duties? If you still have those kind of questions, still wondering, how do I price my services? Do I need a journal? How do I market? All of those. Do I need some marketing templates? I need to create business cards. I need a template for that. All of that is included in the $27 package, okay? Oh yeah, it gets better. Oh, but did I tell you it gets better? Yes. So next, you also get to come to the weekly live workshops. Every week we meet. We've been meeting for years. Every week. If I'm not teaching, Alexis, our other trainer is teaching. Someone's teaching. It's between the two of us right now. We are trying to grow. That's why we've been having special guests within the group. The group is doing amazing. So now I'm even actually letting them teach some. I told y'all Lori taught last night's customer service class. We've had couple other people from the mentorship actually doing a little teaching for us now. It's going amazing. So we'll just kind of see how that continues to go. But anyway, so that's an entry point of 27 and then per month. And then you get access to the replays. So everything that you've already missed, you can catch up on it. So it's really a good program if I'm going to say myself. And then there's a $47 option, which is all inclusive. You have access to like 17 courses. I think it's 17, 16 or 17. I always forget. That's your field inspection, loan signing agent course, apostille course, wedding officiant course, all those different courses, plus the live weekly meetings. We meet together every week, both groups, the 27 and the 47. It's not like the 27 is over there. Nope, we all learn the same, each one teach one. And then there only one other main difference is that there's a live expert community chat. When I say expert, a lot of people in our groups are experts now. So you got myself in the chat, of course, Jeffrey, my husband slash other trainer slash notary slash loan signing agent, and Alexis. And then we actually have our whole community. So it's a community-based chat. It's not just me answering all the questions. It is a community-based chat. And we're getting even more where it's community-based. When we first started off, it was a little bit different because we just had more support within the team. Hey, Deanna, how are you? New Jersey's in the house. Welcome, welcome. So, are you a notary already too? What's your story? What's going on with you? Jerome, how long have you been a notary? Did you say, I know you were waiting on your supplies. How long has it been? A month, too? What's up? What up, though? That's so cute. Yeah, we did used to say that. What up, though? What up, though? Everybody got their thing. What's New Orleans? Who that? Who that? Who that? My friend is from New Orleans, and she had me cracking up when one year they was in the Super Bowl or whatever, and I kept telling her, "Oh, 1 month, okay, cool. Is this your first time catching a live?" And I was like, "Who that? Who that? Who that?" Shout out to CC. So anyway, so let's go back to Shanika. So I told you a little bit about the mentorship program. So check it out at notaryeducators.com. Okay, notaryeducators.com. And then also, since you are just starting out, Jerome, I don't know how much you know about the notary business, but you may also want to check out the book that I wrote, Start Your Notary Business. There's one for every state. This just happens to be Georgia, Indiana, and Florida. But every state has their own book. So you can check out the one for Michigan. And it's going to give you a nice overview of what you can do in the business, okay? So anyway, Shanika, I got a call from someone, and I'm not going to say too much about this one because they're actually friends of mine. And I know they might be watching, but they had a situation. They need some documents notarized, and one party was in another part of the state, which I would have went myself, but I typically don't like to drive like an hour each way. Typically, I will do it not for the right money, and I wasn't going to charge them the right money. So that's why I'm like, if I can find somebody closer, I will do that. Even for my own clients, guys, even for my own clients, if I have someone that calls me, and it happens a lot because my reviews and stuff are so good that it spreads out. So sometimes I will get calls from like an hour away or 2 hours away. They're like, well, how did I find you? And I'm thinking to myself, because your girl's Google page is tight. That's why. I'll tell them that. But anyway, so if I can find a notary that's closer to the person that's needing service, I will go ahead and just give it to them. Because I know for me to go that same job, I'm charging $150, where you're right around the block, you could charge $75 or $50 or whatever, right? So that's what we did last night. So she actually did the job for me. I needed the documents back on my side of town. Your girl brought them to me. Shout out again, Shanika. She brought them to me last night. Gave her a big shout out in the chat. Gave her a little extra because I really appreciated that. More gems if you're listening, guys. When you appreciate service, even when you're out in your regular life, not even notary life, don't you tip a little bit more? Right? So she was already paid for the job. The person paid her. But I felt she went above and beyond because she drove it an hour to me. So I'm like, here's a little something extra. She was so appreciative. Okay. So learn to be generous in your business. It's not all about money, money, money. And I know that at the end of the day, it is. When I go to pay Georgia Power, the light bill, the gas bill, they don't care that I gave somebody a tip, right? But I'm just saying, don't be so money hungry where you can't let nothing in, nothing gets out. You ever seen a tight fisted person, or some tight fisted people? It's like I share with them all the time. They never share with me. It happens all day. It happens. I'm very generous. I learned that from my mom. My mom's generosity is a little weird though. She gonna give you everything she got. Now sometimes she want it back. Other times she gonna remind you that she did it, right? So because of my upbringing though, I try to, if I did something for you, I did it for you. I don't want it back. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not loaning you no money that I'm not expecting to get back, right? If I gave you $25, I gave you $25. Okay? That happened to my dad one time. He gave somebody $20 and he wanted his $20 back. Again, my parents were a little older, right? So if you say you're going to do something, and I'm of that mindset too. If you say you're going to do something, just do what you say you're going to do, right? So this person told my father he was going to give him back that $20. They didn't give it back to him. That wasn't the first time. He helped people with light bills, gas bills, and stuff like that, and they find out they traveling. It's like, come on, dude. But, again, they were very generous and very kind. I lost my dad in 2019, for those of you who may be new, and my mom in 22, and my father-in-law in 22, my sister in 2019. It's been a rough few years, y'all. And but anyway, they would be very generous, but again, at the same time. So I grew up, I saw the generosity, I learned the generosity, being generous, but I'm a more of the person that I gave you $20 is yours. I don't want to talk about it no more. I ain't giving you 50. You may ask me for 50. I'm not giving you 50 if I can't afford to just give you 50. I'll give it back to you on Friday. You probably can't. You don't have it today. Now I might be wrong in that. Okay. And full disclaimer, I do Dave Ramsey kind of stuff, right? And I learned that from him a long time ago. So if you ask me for 50, I might give you 20. And I'm going to give you 20. I don't want to talk about it no more. Okay? That's it. That's how I roll. That's what I do. That's what I've done. That's how I live. And I have peace. Now, there are people, and I know a lot of them, I got family members that'll do it too. They'll give you $40 and they'll give it to you knowing you can't pay it back now. Knowing you can't pay it back. And they like the kind of friction. You know that person I'm talking about, like a little friction in their life. I have a little running joke with one of my friends. Sometimes me and Jeffrey might have a few words or something. I say, girl, you need a little friction every now and then. But you know them people in your life. My nose is itching. I'm so sorry. Y'all know those people in your life that they like a little friction. Hit the like button for me. Like and subscribe if you're not subscribed. All right, let's get y'all a question. I'm gonna tell y'all the third story. And please put your questions here while I'm here live. I'm telling you. If you want to know, I got you. Dina says, I've had my notary since 2022, but I didn't know how to get started, so I gave up. Oh no, I hate that. I don't like when people say they did that. I didn't know how to get started, so I gave up. And it happens a lot. I see that all day. I really do. And it's complicated in the sense that no one wants to share the information with you. Now, I got over 1,000 videos here on this channel. And somebody asked me, well, Kimmi, you give away so much information. Do I still need mentorship? Yeah, you do. And this is why. Somebody told me in the mentorship group last week, and it was in the chat. It was so beautiful. And it really touched me. They said, Kimmi, you give away a lot of information here on your channel, and I appreciate it. But mentorship helped me start my business. See the difference? You can watch these videos all day long. I ain't the only person out there got videos. But when you really get ready to grow and have a really solid business, I'm your person. Because I'm going to get in the dirt with you. I'm going to start with you from the ground up. Most people want to get with you and talk about the marketing and sell you a $5,000 marketing course. Nope. I'm going to teach you how to notarize like a pro. How do we do it over here, guys? How do we do it? Like a pro, right? We notarize like a pro. Everything we do, Apostille is like a pro. Wedding Officiant like a pro. We master it. Why? Because if you become like a pro, when you become like a pro doing it, right? That's where the money comes in. That's where the money comes in. I can teach you how to market. I do teach you how to market. I have a marketing course. I give you marketing templates. But I already know if you don't know how to properly notarize a document, if you don't know how to properly administer an oath, if you're out there saying, well, I don't have to do that anymore, that's old fashioned. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. Okay. Wrong answer. All right. So let's finish reading that comment. So I just resigned from my 9 to 5 and I renewed my notary, trying it again. So at this point, I'm going to tell you, Deanna, it's Deanna, right? Deanna, I'm going to really recommend that you pray seriously about the $27 plan. Okay. If you cannot afford to do anything extra right now because you're not working, I would say the one course I would recommend would be Notarize Like a Pro. The one course to get started. Other than that, everything else is addition, right? But to get started and to know your business, to know your craft, it would be Notarized Like a Pro. And you can still use coupon code Friday, FRIDAY, for 70% off of any of the courses. It's self-paced. If you're watching this, you get access to it. That's my gift to you, okay? They're typically 60% off. But if you're watching this with the sound of my voice, the coupon code Friday is 70% off. Okay. I don't think I'll remove it. I don't know. So I'm not trying to put like a fear factor in you, but right now I've been running it when I remember the last couple of weeks. Okay. And if you're on our email list, you want to make sure you sign up for free emails because the tips have been amazing. Okay. My person is doing the tips on the emails. Oh, I've gotten back 3 responses like, wow, this tip is amazing. It was about being burnt out. That's what it was. So yeah, sign up for the free emails. And over there on the email list, we have different coupons, different specials and stuff just for being subscribed. Okay. Plus you get the tips. They're amazing. So sign up for the free email. So again, coupon code is Friday. If you want to just get one course, I really would recommend doing Notarize Like a Pro. Okay. If you're just starting out, like I told Jerome earlier, you might want to check out the Start Your Notary Business book for your state. Okay. Whatever state. You said you're in New Jersey. For New Jersey. Okay. All right. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right. Next we have Jerome says outsourcing amongst friends is nice. Yeah, so she is in my mentorship program. So I taught her. She self-taught herself, using my products, of course. And she's doing amazing. So she was able to, I don't give my work to anybody. I do not let anybody go and do my notary jobs, y'all. Even my general notary work. I don't just say, hey, let me call. No. You got to be trained. So if I'm that picky as a trainer, educator, do you not think the signing companies, they gonna play with you for a little bit? Let's go there. I gotta go on my tangent. I'm gonna tell you my third story. I'm gonna go on my tangent. Remind me, I got a story about this man that came last night if I forget. But really quick, my third tangent is, why do you think the signing companies only pay $20? Okay. This is my theory. Now, I ain't had no conversation with none of them. But I've been in this game for a long time, so I know how it works, okay? They pay $20 because they already know 99% have not had training. Okay. I usually say 90, but it's 99. So very few of us have actually taught ourselves this business. Most of us just receive our commission and we just go start stamping. That's what happens. That's facts. Okay. That's undisputed. Undisputed. You get your commission and I'm going to start stamping some papers. I'm a notary. I watch YouTube. I'm a notary. I'm going to make that money that they talk about. You can. Once you know what you're doing. So if you're still sitting on the fence and you still don't know what to do and you got your commission, sign up for the $27 plan. Let's just get started. That's why it's called the startup plan. Eventually, most people upgrade to the 47, but you may not need it right now. And that's okay. You can still come to the live sessions every week. It's me or Alexis. The November schedule is not out. We have one more session for October. I forgot what next week is, but you can look it up at notaryeducators.com. Okay. Every week we meet. We met 5 times this month. Every week. So if it's 5 times in a month, we meet 5. If it's 4, whatever, we meet. So anyway, I hope I finished my thought. Oh yeah, so she's in our. That's what I was saying. So I don't. Why signing companies only pay $20? So they pay $20 because they already know this person doesn't know what they're doing. So now they got to have another 20 to add to that 20 so they can get a $40 notary. I'm not a $20 notary or a $40 notary, right? I'm the third notary. So by the time they call me, we're up to 75 to 100, okay? Easily. So they start out with the 20 because if you go out there and you just happen to get it right, they made a lot of money. But typically, you're going to go out there and get it wrong because you've not been properly trained. You're not invested in yourself. And then they got to pay the next person. Yep. And then by the time they get to me, now you got to pay all the money, right? Where you could have just gave me 100 the first time and had it done right. And now that's my other question about that. I've been meaning to say this every time I talk about that. Why do they play games with the people's documents, though? You know what I'm saying? And loan mods are not typically time sensitive. So I guess that's why. That's why, okay? Because they don't play those little $20 games when it comes to like a seller's package or a buyer's package, right? But loan modifications are not typically time sensitive. So I guess they figure we got a week or so to play around with it, you know? And we'll $20 here, another 40 here. And then I know by the time I call her, it's going to be 70. So now I'm at that $100 mark when you could have just gave it to me in the first place. If you're a signing company and you're listening, think about that sometimes. For real, think about that. Just go ahead and hire the right person. And I'm not trying to knock the newbies out of their money, but you know it's going to hurt them in the long run when you give them an assignment and they're not ready for it. That's just like a parent giving their teenager keys to the car just because they asked for it, you know? No, you watch that kid. Some kids are more ready than others. Some teenagers can handle a car. Others cannot. So you don't just be like, okay, let me just give it to you because you got a driver's license, right? You kind of watch them. You ride with them. If you don't feel safe, you're going to put them on the road. I hope you don't. I hope you do not. Hey, Lori W. What's up? What's up? Excellent job last night. I was talking about you earlier. Excellent job, Lori. Excellent. We appreciate it. Miss Rowe says, hi, what's up, Miss Rowe? Where are you checking in from? What's up? What's up? S. Thompson. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's been rough. I'm not gonna even lie. It's been some rough times, but every day it is getting a little better. I was looking at a picture earlier of my mom. Oh, you know what? I could show y'all. Hold on. Well, she's right here actually, but that's a small picture. Let me show y'all my mommy right quick. Let me show y'all my mommy. Let me see. You know what? I'll just get the picture. Hold on. This is me and my mommy. I miss this lady. Hold on. Let me show y'all. Did that work? Oh. That's me and my mommy. Bobby Jean. Bobby Jean. Y'all hear me talk about her all the time. And my dad, let me see. I don't want to show y'all everybody's picture because you know how some people can be. I got, you know what? How about this picture? Let me see. How about this one? Because, let's see, that one right there. So that's my mom, my dad, my sister that I lost, and Alexis when she graduated. How about that? Because, you know, people be like, what you put me on your channel for? What you put me on your channel for? So I try to be respectful, y'all, of the people. So anyway, that's part of my family. That's part of my family. And yeah, it's been hard. So anyway, Ian Grip says like a pro. Yes, that's how we notarize. Trust what she says. Thank you, Lori. Appreciate it. Like a pro. Deanna says, thank you. You're welcome. Deanna says, give me until Saturday to register for the class, please. Oh, girl, take your time. We're going to be here. We are going to be here. You do not have to rush. We are going to be here. The sooner you get started, though, the sooner you can start, you know, get that business going. But yeah, we'd love to have you, okay? And take your time and read the descriptions at notaryeducators.com, the $27 plan and the $47 plan. Now, the best part about it is we all meet together every week. Boom, boom, boom. And nobody knows which plan you're in. It ain't no banner behind saying, I'm in the $47 plan. I'm in the $27 plan. Nothing like that. Nobody even knows who's who. You know, So yeah, take your time, okay? We'll be looking for you. S. Thompson says, if you notarize for divorce forms on the same date, but at different times, do you use the same acknowledgement on forms or add a certificate? If you notarize for forms on the same date, but at different times, I never really had it happen on the same date because if it's the same date, they're at the same location. Has been my experience. Um, I'd have to see the certificate actually too, because there may be separate certificates for them. Sometimes it'll say and like John Smith and Judy Smith appeared before me. So if I knew I was going right around the corner, I probably would use the same one. Yeah, I probably would. But again, it's too many variables for me to give you a definite because I need to see the certificate. Okay. And I don't get in the habit. I'll give you one more tip on that one too, S. Thompson, is we don't get in the habit of just adding certificates. That's what everybody wants to do, just add a certificate. Just add a certificate. No. Typically, when someone gives you a document, they want that document notarized and stamped. I see people do it all day long. Well, my stamp is too big, it doesn't fit. The state knew that when they prepared that document. Here in Georgia, we have when someone's buying a car, transferring a title, there's 5 pages that need to be notarized most of the time. 5. They're carbon copies is the word. And you have to lift up each one. And the stamp really doesn't fit. The stamp really does not fit. So what I have to do is go on the side, right? But I'm not going to add a certificate to that because if I do that, that document will be rejected with the state of Georgia. They're not going to take it. They are not. So in our world, it's like, oh, let me add a certificate. Let me add a certificate. Let me add a jurat. No. Because again, most people, whoever gave them the document, they're expecting that document to be notarized. So when we start adding and stapling, and I even had an incident, actually with the same client I'm about to tell you about last night, this third client. I even had an issue, and it's happened to me before because I love putting my gold seal on certain stuff, and I put it on another document, and it was too big. So me and my brilliance, I said, well, let me fold it. Duh, that looks so chintzy. It was crazy. It was just one of those days, right? I be having so much on my mind, y'all. I have so much on my mind. My mother used to be like, take some of that stuff off your mind, girl. You got to relax your mind. So anyway, short version. So I had to redo the document. So instead of putting the gold seal, I just crimped it because the person was looking like, is that a notary stamp? That's all you need? So that's another reason why I was adding the seal that day, because they were looking like, that don't even look like a real notary. I mean, you know what I mean? Because they're used to the gold seal and all that and all the embosser and all that. So anyway, so I meant at separate times. Yeah, I understood your question. I hope I answered it correctly for you. So again, don't get in the habit of just, adding acknowledgments and jurats on documents. Please don't. And I see it all day long. I just add an acknowledgement. I just added. No, you don't just add nothing. You need to know what you're doing. Can you imagine baking a cake and you be like, well, and I've done this before. You might want to I'll just add some raisins to it. Or raisins might change the whole consistency of the cake. You don't just add something because you think you want to add it. We got to know why we're doing stuff. That's why everything is a process. Everything is a process. So we don't just guess. We don't just do it. Well, I think that'll work. No, why are you doing it? So I'm the right person because I'd be like, why are you doing that? Yeah, ask. Everything is a teaching lesson. Ms. Rose says, I read the book for Florida. I'm moving there in January. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'll be talking about my book. Thank you. Moving there in January. I'm kind of at a standstill until I'm relocated so that I can apply for the commission. Is there anything else I can do between now and then? Well, I'll be honest with you. I would love for you to go ahead and start training, right? But I wouldn't recommend it because what if you get there, you change your mind? I always say, go ahead and get everything you need. I'm not going to just tell you to join my mentorship because I want you to join. When you join, I want you to be ready. So what does that look like for me? I would have you just continue to read. You can go ahead and order, I think it's online, your Florida state handbook. You might can get that from the state of Florida. Start reading that about notaries, what they can do. And then after you actually get in Florida and you actually get your commission, then double back, and we'd love to be part of your training. Okay. But yeah, because you might get there and say, well, you know what? I thought I wanted to be a notary. I've been paying Kimmi for 3 months now, and I'm not going to be a notary. Now you mad at me. No. That's why I'm like, just wait. I get that question a lot. Can I go ahead and join? I don't have my stuff yet. I compare to, I always got an illustration. You got this car, right? You got a car, but you don't have a driver's license. What if you don't pass the test? What if you never pass the test? That happens. Sometimes people want to be doctors and they're going to go, or attorneys, and they say, well, I know I'm going to be an attorney. No, you don't know that. You do not know that. You pray that, you hope that, you wish that. But until you actually take the test, you're not an attorney. You're not a doctor. Nurses, they spend years in school, but until you take the boards, you're not a doctor. You're not a nurse. Okay? You're not anything till you got a piece of paper in your hand. And I'll go even one more with you. Yeah, I like this guy. We've been dating for a couple years, and he told me we're going to get married, and I'm really looking forward to it. He told me it's going to happen in January. Am I starting to move all my stuff into his house? No. No and no. Right? Now, I will be fully transparent with y'all. When me and Jeffrey was dating, we was getting married. Like everybody said, they get married, right? And we did buy a car together. Now, if I had that to do over again, I would not. It was like 2 months before the wedding. It was like 2 months. Then we bought the car in June. We got married in August. June, July, August. Yeah, I think we bought the car in June and we got married. We could have waited 2 months. We could have waited. But what if it didn't work out? You know what I'm saying? Now I'm stuck on this car payment with you. So no, I don't make decisions like that. I just wait. Wait till you have the piece of paper in your hand. Wait till you get, pass your Florida test. I think Florida has a little test. Wait till you do all of that, and then we're going to be here. We've been here. We'll be here, God willing. I always say that because it's not up to me to just say what's going to happen, right? But yeah, so just take your time. Again, we'll be here. So even for you, I would just say read your Florida handbook. I think you can download that for free. Now we have to pay for ours, but I think you can get yours for free. That's where I would start, and just pump the brakes. Just wait. Wouldn't buy anything else. Oh, thank you, S. Thompson. Yeah, it's my mommy and my family. Yeah, I missed them. Missed them a lot. Deanna says, where can I purchase your books and mentorship? NotaryEducators.com. Yep. NotaryEducators.com. Everything you need. There's a book selection and a journal selection. The two main mentorships are there, either startup or all inclusive. So just take your time and join us. It would be a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much, Lori. Yeah. Gorgeous family. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Alethi. I appreciate y'all. You're welcome, S. Thompson. Yeah, that's my mommy and my daddy and my baby sister. That was my baby sister I lost. That was Alexis's mom. Yeah, that was her mom. But I always say, everything I am is because of them. And I had a friend, she wrote that to me after I lost my dad. She was like, well, she had been through some stuff too. And she said, well, some kind of way she put it, it's not exact, but the most beautiful thing is the legacy that he left in you. And when you see me, you see my parents. Everything I am, everything I do is because of them. And it's very few people that can actually even be proud of that sometimes, And did they get on my nerves? Heck yeah. Did I get on their nerves? Yes. But we were friends too. They wasn't just my parents. So when I first lost them, it was a trip. But this is not that channel. We ain't going here today. Okay. Miss Rose says, yes, your book, LLL. Sorry. Okay, thank you, Miss Rose. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, so you got your plan now. So just kind of wait till you move to Florida and get everything together. Lori saying amen. Any last minute questions we have? I'm gonna start wrapping this up. But as soon as I do, usually more people join. So any last thing we want to talk about? So mentorship, again, you got 2 entry points, $27 or $47. The courses you can feel free to purchase individually if you're not going to be in mentorship. Now, don't buy the courses if you're in mentorship, okay? You don't have to buy the courses if you're in mentorship, because sometimes people will do that. Once you're in the all inclusive plan, you get everything, right? But if you're not going to join anything today, and you don't have to join again today, join when you want to. But when I said today, I just meant I was just talking. But you don't have to purchase anything today. But what I'm saying is, don't purchase the courses, and you have access to them via the membership. That's the point. Okay. Bye, honey. Have a profitable day. You too. You too. Okay. So, in grip, see you later. Yeah, so you don't have to buy the individual, but if you're gonna go individual, you can get the 70% off coupon code, which is Friday. Okay. And that's at notaryeducators.com. What last minute things can I assist you guys with? What other questions? If not, I'm gonna hop over, I think, on my actual group for a few minutes and say hello. Okay, guys, I'm going to say bye over here, and I'm going to jump over in a mentorship program just for a few minutes and say hi. Okay, bye, guys. NotaryEducators.com. Thanks for hanging out with me. Some of you, I'll see you soon in mentorship. The other ones, I'll see you on my live tomorrow. Just don't know what time yet, okay? Bye.